Thank you all for coming out tonight. We're very excited to have you here. We're very excited to partner with On for this great event. Tonight we really wanted to talk about the aspects of how to really finish a marathon mentally and to use that brain to get across that finish line. The first talking point that we're going to touch on is the routine and kind of the routine that you set up for you mentally to get there and through your training. So Dr. Tucker, if you want to start talking about some routine topics.
You bet. As you all know, your adrenaline levels are important. Your adrenaline levels are really important if you are going to run fast. You need a lot of it. If you're going to run a marathon, you don't need a lot of adrenaline. You need to be calm, cool, and relaxed. You need to do, when I get ready to go to that long distance race, I have to know that I've been there before, I've done it before. There's a recent article actually in one of the USA Triathlon things about setting up a routine. So if your race is going to be, say, at 8:30, you want to be up at least 3 hours before, 3.5 is better. So you get up at 5, and you get up at 5 every morning, and you know what it's like to be up at 5. So you eat the kind of breakfast maybe you're going to have for the marathon a few days a week. The other days it doesn't count. But at least a couple days a week, you eat that food that you're going to use when you run your A race, your marathon. Then you know how you're going to feel when you start to run. On the weekends, for sure, you want to be able to go out and replicate that same sensation you're going to have at the start of a marathon. You want to be able to run smoothly at the beginning. You want to be able to nourish yourself, which you've already done. But now your food is digested because you've waited 3 hours. And now you're going to be able to take in more nourishment, a lot of which is liquid, and you're probably going to need the liquid. So by the time you've done this for 2 or 3 weeks, so it's going to be like relaxed, old hat, I'm comfortable, I've been here. When the race day comes, I know exactly what I'm doing. My adrenaline levels are going to be very low.
To echo Dr. Tucker's comments, nothing new on race day. It should feel like the most boring, typical, normal Saturday. Now it's tough because you may have to get up an hour earlier to get to the Staten Island ferry or to get to the bus, or if you're at one of the Disney marathons, and I'm just going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't done a Disney race, you're going to be very, very far away from the start, and you're going to have to walk in the dark and think, why didn't I bring a flashlight? So there are things that are going to upset your routine, but as normal as you can make it, as calm, as steady, as even, eat the same foods, make sure your gear is tested, and understand what things could come up, because if you can troubleshoot those ahead of time, you'll be in a better position. I eat the exact same breakfast every single morning before I train. I wear the exact same kit for all of my races, except for, adding a layer or two depending on the weather. And I even make a routine out of taking my nutrition. I know a lot of you guys are probably in a spot right now where you're testing new things. One week it might be, hey, let's try the Cliff Shot. Okay, and the next week it's, hey, let's try Honey Stinger. When you find something that works for you, figure out what the pattern is that you need and then stick with it. And again, to Dr. Tucker's comments, your system digests calories more evenly with a steadier burn over, with smaller amounts. So instead of eating an entire gel at a throw, have half. I know it gets a little sticky. Just fold the top, wash it down with some water, and then eat every 20 minutes. I mean, my race routine is the most boring thing in the universe. Electrolytes and calories every 25 minutes, water every 45. It is the most boring thing ever, but it really helps a lot. And then when you do need to do something different, you don't have to think about it. You're not expending the energy of like, oh wait, did I take calories in at this point? Set an alarm on your watch. Every single Garmin made, except for the Garmin 15, has an interval alarm that you can set. Just make it boring, make it easy. And here's the one other thing, I don't know if we were gonna get to this in a minute, Dr. Tucker. What you do at night is almost as important as what you do in the morning. We live in New York. It's the greatest city in the universe, but it's also extremely hard to have a normal bedtime. I totally understand. And if you guys are in the throes of training right now, you're telling people, I can't go to dinner at 9 o'clock. That's far too late. I need to go to bed. That's okay. I have no problem telling my esteemed colleague here, I am now 90 minutes past my specified bedtime. You don't know what I'm going to say. But that's the truth. It really is. But ultimately, make sure you're getting good, consistent, quality sleep. Make sure you have a normal routine with your bedtime. And I know it sounds silly when I say bedtime, but it really is that. And I strongly encourage all of you, this is something that I picked up last year that I've done ever since, and I know it might not be feasible for everybody. Take your phone, walk it out of your bedroom, put it in your living room, put it in your closet, and I know, right?
No.
Put it somewhere where you're not going to see it. Set some other methodology of alarm. I know this is like anathema, like you can't say this, but the ambient light that the phone generates, that the heat that the phone generates will interrupt your sleep cycle. It will.
I think the best thing you can do is to know that you're probably going to be scared and just to acknowledge it. And that's why being prepared and having your routine is so important, because those things are done. I forgot Body Glide. I forgot all these things. And I was like tweeting at 5 in the morning, like, anybody staying at the Westin with Body Glide? And luckily someone was like, me! And I was like, meet me in the lobby.
So what I said about the phone may not apply to her. It might not, just saying.
But you're going to be scared and you're going to be nervous and you're not going to be thinking clearly. So when you have a routine and you have everything set out, that's important. You're not going to be thinking clearly. Also, the people around you. You're going to have friends, you're going to have family, you're going to have people being like, how can I help you? What can I do? Tell them ahead of time, I'm probably going to be a little nervous, I'm probably going to be kind of scared. I will tell you what I need. Otherwise, just stay there. Because otherwise, they will hover and they'll be like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And you're going to be like, leave me alone. And a lot of them come out of the way. Set them up on the course. Tell them where to stay. On 91st and 5th Avenue on the left-hand side, my left-hand side. Tell them exactly where to be. Set everything up beforehand so that if you're in the middle of a race and you're fogging out, you're not saying, where's my family? Let me get my phone out in the middle of a race and try to like text them and be like, Siri, where's my mom?